The other day, I was laying around thinking about video ideas I could do for my channel, and one of those ideas was this. What is the best roller coaster in each state? Now I know not every state has a roller coaster, so if I did do a video like this, it wouldn't include every single state, but then I realized that that video has already been done. But here's something that might not have been done. What if I take the best roller coaster from each state and rank the states based on the best roller coaster? And what if none of these were my opinion? What if these opinions were coming from the world? With the help of Captain Coaster, I have scoured and scrolled through hundreds, almost over 1,000 different roller coasters on the Captain Coaster ranking list to see the average rank of each coaster and which state it's in. And then these states will be ranked from worst to best based on the quality of their highest ranked coaster. A state has to have a roller coaster past or presently operating that has a ranking. If a state has a roller coaster, but it isn't ranked on Captain Coaster for whatever reason, it can't be in the video. If a state doesn't have any roller coasters at all, obviously that can't be on the list either. So before we begin, I want to go over the losers. We have Montana, Kansas, Wyoming, Nebraska, Mississippi, Rhode Island, Alaska, Hawaii, South Dakota, North Dakota, Delaware, and Vermont. With that being said, now that we got those losers out of the way, we have 38 states left that have a valid coaster with a ranking. Because of the nature of this video, it would be long if I decided to do all 38 states at once. So for this video, I'm going to be going through number 38 through number 21. And then in the next video, we're going to do 20 to, of course, number 1. If you don't like the way this list turned out, well, you have the power to go on Captain Coaster and start ranking things, and maybe that'll influence where they place on the list. Kicking off the list at number 38, we have the state of Arkansas, with its best rated coaster being Arkansas Twister at Magic Springs. This coaster boasts a 50.9% rating, and it is ranked 840 worldwide. I've personally never been on Arkansas Twister before it closed, so I don't really have much to say about it personally, but I have a friend who did ride it and he said it was mid. We have some reviews here saying, truly beat the snot out of me for my one and only ride. Gotta be the lamest and roughest wooden coaster experience I've ever had. That's not a good sign. They rated it half a star. I'm sorry, Arkansas, but I guess your best coaster is not a great one. Coming in at number 37, we have the state of West Virginia, with its best ranked roller coaster being Big Dipper at Camden Park. This roller coaster boasts a 51.5% rating and is ranked number 830 worldwide. Based on the reviews, I'm not entirely sure why this roller coaster is ranked so low, other than the fact that maybe not enough people have ranked it compared to other more popular coasters. Based on what I'm looking at, it doesn't look terrible. It looks like it has decent airtime. I'm not really sure how exactly the ride runs or how smooth it is. If you have been on this, let me know. Is it good? Is it bad? Maybe one day I'll ride it, but I just don't see myself going to West Virginia for anything other than passing through to get to another state on a road trip. Coming in at number 36, we have the state of Arizona, with its best ranked coaster being Desert Storm, with a 52.3% rating and ranked 809 worldwide. This is a roller coaster I personally have been on, and I gotta say, it's kind of forgettable. The profiling was really weird, although it wasn't rough, it was really smooth. The way they do this ride, I don't really know if this park does a rotating staff or whatever, but when I went to go ride this, first of all, the ride doesn't have air gates. Second of all, there wasn't even a ride operator in the station when I got there, so we kind of just walked up and sat down in the train and waited about 10 minutes for someone to show up. Overall, it's a really weird coaster, and it's a very unique credit because Hopkins loopers are hard to come by, so if you're in Arizona, it's pretty much worth checking this thing out. Next up, we have number 35 with the state of Oklahoma, with Silver Bullet at Frontier City being the best ranked coaster. It boasts a score of 57.9% and is ranked number 692 worldwide. This is surprising to me. I personally enjoyed Diamondback a lot more than Silver Bullet, but I feel like if this roller coaster were at literally any other park, this thing would have been sent to the scrapyard years ago. But overall, it's a really good ride for maybe kids wanting to experience their first inversion. That's a perfect ride for that. It's kind of forgettable. It's not really noteworthy. That's why I'm saying Diamondback should have been here. Maybe because Diamondback is closed all the time and people can't ride it. Maybe if they opened Diamondback more often, it would have a chance at being the highest ranked coaster in Oklahoma, but because it's always closed, maybe that's why Silver Bullet took the crown here for this one. Coming in at number 34, we have the state of Oregon, with its highest ranked coaster being Adrenaline Peak at Oaks Amusement Park. This coaster boasts a score of 58.9% and it's ranked 674 worldwide. This is a small and compact Gerstlauer Eurofighter that I feel like is a great fit at a park like this. I've personally never been on it. I've personally never even been close to the state of Oregon because I've never desired to visit. It looks like it would be a fun ride. And it's perfect for small parks like this to get a cheap and thrilling coaster that's somewhat reliable and everyone seems to like it. I feel like this coaster's biggest kryptonite is the fact that it is also in the middle of pretty much nowhere. If I'm being honest, I feel like this roller coaster has a shot at being ranked a little bit higher than 674 worldwide, but because not enough people go here, maybe it's not winning duels, people don't probably even know what this is. So I'm here to bring awareness to it. Let's get this thing up on the rankings because I feel like a Gerstlauer Eurofighter deserves a lot better. We're starting to get a little bit up there in quality as we move through these states, so we're going to hit you with number 33 is the state of Colorado. It's not a coaster at Elitch Gardens, of course not, why would it be? It's Defiance at Glenwood Caverns. I actually was very close to riding this. I did visit Elitch Gardens and I wasn't a huge fan, and I was planning on going to Glenwood Caverns to ride Defiance. However, it was the wrong time of the year and I missed Defiance's, or I guess the park's opening by about a month. While it's an extremely short ride, it looks pretty good. The views you get at the top of the lift hill are probably unmatched by most other coasters. Like, it's hard to get a view like this. You're on top of a mountain. It boasts a 60.6% rating, and it's ranked number 648 worldwide. Unfortunately, the reviews are not super kind to this one. There are people complaining about the rattle, there's people complaining about headbanging, and of course, pretty much everyone in the reviews are complaining about the ride's duration. And moving on to the number 32 spot, we have the state of New Mexico, with its best rated coaster, of course, to nobody's surprise, being New Mexico Rattler at Cliffs Amusement Park. This boasts a 64.5% rating, and it is ranked number 579 worldwide. Like a lot of coasters towards the bottom of this list, I also have not ridden this, let alone stepped foot in New Mexico. It looks like a decent coaster. It doesn't look like anything crazy, but it looks decent. This looks like something that could be at a Fun Spot park. So because I haven't been on this and I don't really have much to say about it other than it's a wooden coaster that looks okay, I don't know about the roughness. Let's see what the reviews say. Noah Sanchez gives it a 4 stars, but they have a problem with the capacity. We have a second review here that also complains about the capacity, so I don't know what they can do to fix that. Maybe it's the train situation or dispatches, but capacity seems to be an issue. However, people are praising its layout and its airtime. Number 31, we have the state of Washington, with its best ranked coaster being Classic Coaster at the Washington State Fair. It has a rating of 66.4% and it is ranked number 545 worldwide. I'm pretty sure this is the roller coaster that a lot of people say has a death ejector hill. I'm not really sure what that means because I've never experienced something called a death ejector hill, but it sounds gnarly. If you look at the reviews for this ride, literally everyone is praising the airtime and eject. The problem with it being at a state fair is, it's a state fair. So if you want to get this credit, you might have to do some pretty good planning ahead of time to make sure you actually are able to ride this. Number 30, we have the state of Nevada. We have El Loco, which is at the Adventure Dome in Las Vegas, and it has a 70.6% rating, and it is ranked number 486 worldwide. For this one, I am a little surprised. I thought maybe Canyon Blaster would have this thing beat. Maybe I do feel like this roller coaster is ranked a little bit too highly. People are praising its powerful first drop, its hang time, its inversions, literally everything. This is another roller coaster though that I did almost have the chance to ride, and I would have ridden it if my plans didn't get ruined. When I was flying home from my California trip, I had a 7-hour layover in Vegas, and I planned that layover on purpose. However, my flight was delayed significantly, and by the time I actually landed in Vegas, everything was closed. Remember how I said defunct coasters can make their way onto this list just because it's Captain Coaster and anything goes? Well, at number 29, we have the state of Louisiana, with its top rated coaster being Mega Zep, boasting a 75.4% rating, and it is ranked number 407 worldwide. For a coaster that closed 21 years ago to be ranked this high on a worldwide scale, where it's a very tight competition, is kind of telling on how good this ride was. Unfortunately, there are no actual reviews of this ride, it's just ratings, and it really does suck, because I feel like a lot of these big CCI coasters are either biting the dust or so far out of the way that it's unreasonable for me to plan a trip to go visit one. In case if you live under a rock, Mega Zep closed with Six Flags New Orleans, also known as Jazzland, because Hurricane Katrina came through and flooded the entire park. And it's just been sitting there for years, and just recently, maybe a year ago, they decided to finally tear it down because people got tired of looking at it. Taking home the number 28 spot, we have the state of Alabama, with its best rated coaster being Rampage, boasting a 77.5% rating, and it is ranked 361 worldwide. This one seems to be a little divided. A lot of people are complaining about the roughness, but that's to be expected about a wooden coaster at a smaller park. But I know that they started retracking Rampage, and if it goes according to plan, it could be a world-class coaster. It depends on how it runs through the layout once the retrack is done. This is another coaster that is so out of the way for me, it's unreasonable for me to say I will ride this anytime soon. There's people saying the coaster has a good layout, it has great airtime, it's intense. The general consensus here is that this ride has a great layout. It just suffers a little bit in the smoothness category. At number 27, we have the state of Maine, with its best coaster being Excalibur. It boasts a 77.6 rating, and it is ranked number 359 worldwide. It seems like a lot of these lower ranked states are dominated by CCI and some GCI wooden coasters. A lot of wooden coasters are on this lower half of the list. Overall, the general consensus of this ride is that it is a good ride. Obviously, being around the middle of the ground on this list, it's not bad, but it's also not anything impressive. People seem to enjoy the airtime, the first drop, and it's not rough, according to a lot of the reviewers, so that's one problem this ride doesn't suffer from. Maybe the layout's a little weak. I've been to Maine a few times, but I didn't even know this ride existed until about a year ago, so if I ever find myself up by Maine again, I will be sure to go check this out. Taking the number 26 spot, we have New Hampshire. This one blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie, this one is probably the most shocking to me, because its best rated coaster is Rorosaurus, boasting a 77.7% rating, and it's ranked number 355 worldwide. For those of you who don't know, New Hampshire is the same state that has Canopy Lake Park, with two roller coasters that on a surface level, to me, look better. You have Untamed and Yankee Cannonball. You're telling me Rorosaurus is better than those two? Gravity Group does make really good family coasters, and based on my research, I've come to the conclusion that people like Rorosaurus more than any other coaster in New Hampshire. Based on the reviews, there is ejector airtime, and the layout's good, and the pacing is great. But of course, Gravity Group coasters seem to suffer from roughness. Gravity Group, if you can figure out what's going on, why your Timberliner trains destroy the track and make it run like a broken shopping cart, that would be great. Number 25, we have the state of Maryland. With a defunct coaster, the highest rated coaster is, of course, Superman Ride of Steel. We have a pretty significant jump here from last place to the place we are at now, because Superman Ride of Steel boasts an 85% rating, and it is ranked number 247 worldwide. And I gotta say, Superman Ride of Steel really is a good ride. I'm not going to get too much into it because this is probably my fourth video that has mentioned this ride in some shape or form. Long story short, it's a good ride. It has a strange layout, but that strange layout makes it unique in a way. It has a little bit of rattle, but it's not unbearable, and it does have good airtime. Taking home the number 24th spot, which is kind of a surprise to me because there's a lot of coasters in this state. We have New York, with its highest rated coaster being Ride of Steel at Darien Lake, boasting an 86.9% rating, and it is ranked 207 worldwide. I mean, this is pretty much the same thing as Superman at Six Flags America. It's literally the same thing, it's just a mirrored layout. I imagine people rank this coaster higher than the one at Six Flags America because of the setting. That weird straight track that you get is over water on this one, so maybe that's why it's ranked a little higher, but it kind of makes sense that Ride of Steel and Superman Ride of Steel are back to back because they're pretty much the same thing. Everything about Six Flags America's Superman can be said about this one. The people of Captain Coaster just keep surprising me more and more, because I feel like this next coaster should be ranked a lot higher than it is. That's just my opinion, and my opinion does not matter. Taking home the 23rd spot, we have the state of Minnesota, with its best roller coaster being Renegade at Valley Fair. Renegade boasts a rating of 87.9%, and it is ranked 192 worldwide. I feel like a broken record, but I also haven't been on this ride either. But what I will say is that a lot of enthusiasts that have YouTube channels, rank Renegade a lot higher than 192. A lot of them even put Renegade in their top 50. However, I know enough about this ride because I've heard people talk about it to death. It has a really good layout. It has really good forces, but it's rough. I already know that's the biggest gripe people have with this ride. It's rough. It looks like a really good ride, and overall, I feel like if they give this thing a good retrack, it could be an elite ride just based on the layout alone. I don't need to read the reviews because I know what people are saying, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What is this? If the Desperado Monkey from Balloons Tower Defense 6 had a favorite roller that I know, what the fuck? Coming in at number 22 and the second to last state on this part of the video is the state of Michigan. And to no one's surprise, the best rated coaster in Michigan is Shivering Timbers. It has an 89.7% rating, and it is ranked 156 worldwide. There's no doubt about it. This is the only reason to even go to Michigan's Adventure. Everything else is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. With those massive camelbacks that give floater airtime, borderline ejectors sometimes, it depends on who you ask, but generally speaking, people come to Michigan's Adventure to ride Shivering Timbers. Diamond or Poor gives it a 4.5 star and says it's one of the most underrated roller coasters in the world. But the Voyage is better. Alright, well, we're not talking about the Voyage, are we? Lucas, with the really good picture of Saul from Impractical Jokers, says basically the same thing I said. That it's an elite wooden coaster, and it's the only real reason why you should visit Michigan's Adventure, if you aren't a local. Coming in at number 21, and the final state for this video, we have the state of Iowa, boasting Monster as their highest rated coaster, getting a 90.3%, and it is ranked number 146 worldwide. Now, this ride is it looks massive and it looks great. A lot of people praise this, and this is one of those roller coasters that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of coaster enthusiasts put this in their top 25. That's how good this thing is. This is a bucket list park for me. I do want to go to Adventureland because I want to ride Monster. I hear so many things about it. I hear it's a great ride, and I hear all this stuff. You need to ride this because it's so good. It's such a dynamic looking layout, and it seems like everyone else agrees. They love the hang time that the inversions give, and it has lap bars, because a lot of these Gerstlauer coasters, some of which were mentioned earlier in this video, have over-the-shoulder restraints, and those suck. And of course, we have a review here from Pillar Stiller B. Ruthington. A blackout drunk guy tried to ride with me, but we got separated because I was a single rider. I'm not really sure what that has to do with the roller coaster, but Pillar Stiller ranked it 5 out of 5 stars. Well, there you have it. That's a wrap on the first half of this video. It's a lot to cover, and honestly, there's no way I would be able to do all of these at once. So I will post a part 2, a follow-up, featuring all of the other states, the other 20 states that I have yet to mention. So we got 20 more states, 20 more roller coasters, and more surprises, because it just gets crazier as the list goes on. So if you want to see part 2, maybe subscribe. I'll see you in part 2.